Hello, it's Gracie from Gracie Alley Design, and today I want to share a fun technique that I've been using a lot for my handmade cards. I've been watercoloring a lot lately, and I've also been experimenting with watercolor washes. And so today I'm using some student grade watercolors to create a background, and I'm using only a few colors that I know will blend very well. I'll be using a dark yellow, true red, and also rose, which is a dark tone of pink. And I'm not using watercolor cardstock because I don't have any, but I am using metallic cardstock from papertemptress.com, and this cardstock is very shimmery and pretty. And the beautiful thing is that once your paint has dried, your watercolor has dried, the shimmer will sparkle through the color too. So it's really beautiful, and it actually doesn't warp as much, so it's really good for this technique too. When I want to unwarp paper that I've colored and that I've added a lot of water to, I usually run it through the laminator, and the heat and pressure of the laminator will do the trick, and it flattens the paper beautifully. So to start off, I sprayed the paper with water, and then I use a water brush to start adding color. And I usually start with the lightest tone that I'll be using, and then I'll start adding darker color around that lighter tone, and I help the color to move with some water and also the actual brush. What happens here is that I usually use the water brush to pick the color, add a few drops here and there, and try to help blend that color. But if I feel like I need to blend the color even more and help it move more, I just spray it with more water. And so you can see that I'm using also an old rag to help dry the edges of the paper, because there's so much water being added to the cardstock that it accumulates on the edges. So it's really important that you dry whenever possible the edges of the cardstock. I'm actually moving the cardstock too to help the colors blend and move. You can see right there that by spraying more water, the colors blend together on their own. The effect is really pretty, and I don't follow any rules. I just experiment with the mediums I have, and you may actually get a different result depending on the tools that you're using and the kind of watercolors that you're getting. Like I said, these are student grade watercolors, but because they are so very pigmented, they seem to work very well for this technique. Also, whenever I'm doing watercolor washes, I usually start off with an idea in mind of what I would like to get. So although the water controls the movement of the color, I try to control it a bit with the brush to get a sort of dimension or structure on the wash. And in this case, what I want to get as a result is a diagonal column of color. And that is why you saw me layering the color first on the top and then diagonally on the bottom of the cardstock. As I layer the color, you'll see that the yellow fades away a bit, and that is okay. The important thing is that you end up getting a nice blend, and in any case, remember that whatever colors you use for your washes, you need to use colors that blend together well. So try to work with colors from the same color family. I usually like to use violets, purples, and pinks and blues on some washes, and those color combinations work really nicely. And now that I got these new colors, I'm experimenting with warmer washes using reds and yellows and so on. So this is basically it. You have to be patient because you need to keep layering color until you feel like you got the result you're looking for. And the hardest part of this process is actually stopping the layering. Like you feel like you want to keep layering and adding more color. So I usually know that I'm about to finish the wash when I start flicking color droplets of color on the background. That's what I'm doing right now. Though that actually adds a nice touch to the background. And so if you want to keep layering and you want more intensity on some areas, you can wait for this layer to dry and then start adding more later. But that is it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. And here are some cards that I made using this technique. As you can see, you don't need that much to finish a card using these backgrounds because they are so intense and very striking. So what I did is I printed some images and sentiments on vellum, and these images are actually digital stamps from my shop on Etsy. And what I did is I printed them on a laser printer and then run them through a laminator with deco foil, using the laminator to foil those images, and the shimmer on the foil and the transparency of the vellum look incredible with the watercolor wash. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you want to see more project ideas and you want to know more about what I do and what I share, make sure to subscribe on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. And I also share a lot of tutorials on my blog, graciedesign.blogspot.com. So make sure you visit me there too. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time.